Okay. One last time for now. Thank you everyone for joining this week's edition of the Carvel Community Meeting. Today's date is May 8th, 2024. Today is a very interesting and special day. We have some news regarding Carvel. So we're not proceeding with like a formal agenda like we've had before. We just wanted to talk about what's going on with the project and keep the community informed and be as transparent as possible about all of this. It's something that has come as a surprise and a shock to all of us. So we're all still processing and what it means for the project. But as of right now, the only maintainers that are left from Broadcom will be Salmik, Praveen, and Rohit, and Dimitri. So Dimitri is the one that pretty much started Carvel from the ground up. So we're fortunate that he is still with us. I myself have been, didn't realize I was getting emotional. Yeah. Hit out of nowhere. So
we have had Nancy, take your time. We have had a lot of support from you on this one. And we really love you for this. And it's difficult to see you go. Okay, so take your time.
Yeah. So
No pressure there.
I was let go as well. And I was originally hired from VMware to be the community manager for Carvel, and I really enjoyed my work with Carvel because it's such an interesting tool, an interesting set of tools, and I'm very passionate about it, and the community has been amazing, and the maintainers have been so lovely to work with. So I'm very sad to be leaving. But I hope that I can see it still flourish in my departure. I know that the maintainers that continue on are still very passionate about the community and want to make sure the project remains successful. And then, in addition to the three that I laid out, we still have Bryce Palmer and Thomas. Thomas, how do you say your last name? Vitali?
Vitale.
Vitali?
Yeah.
So they were just upgraded to members of our org, and actually a conversation that we were having as a project was like, wait a second, like, doesn't that mean they're maintainers? Because we just started this whole membership process, and we've been growing so fast as a project, so we were like, wait, I think they're maintainers. So I think it's fair to say that Bryce and Thomas, we can consider them maintainers, and I hope to see them continue to grow and evolve the work that they do in Carvel. So I'm talking a lot, so I don't know who else wants to say anything or chime in or has questions.
Yeah, so I guess a question I have, and coming from, I work at Red Hat, and so coming from the Red Hat perspective, and you mentioning that Thomas and I and members are probably considered maintainers. What is there an anticipated process moving forward to ensure that the folks that are considered maintainers have the appropriate things in place, that they're marked as either reviewers, approvers, things like that? Because I know Red Hat has some interest in continuing to contribute certain functionality to CAP, because it aligns with some of the stuff we're trying to do with the operator framework, and potentially using those as libraries while also, contributing that back to CAP. But if there's going to be like significant pushback based on just time and like reduction of maintainers, on us being able to get certain changes in, we might need to think about other approaches to make sure that we're still able to progress on our stuff. So just want to see if there's any plans or process going to be put in place for continuing to ensure that folks are able to continue to get changes in, and things like that.
Salmic put in the chat. So as far as CAP and kapp-controller are concerned, the same people are going to be working on those projects. So we're good there. And then as far as like reviewer and approver status, in our little membership area, there's a process to move on to be a official reviewer and approver. I know that there's already some talk about you, Bryce, moving on to reviewer because you're already reviewing a lot. So I know that those discussions were already happening last week. So that's the information I can say, or like I know of to share. I don't know if anyone else has more on that.
So first, Nancy, thank you for seeing this project to making it a CNCF sandbox project. And I think we wanted to take it to incubation. I think that is not a very far away dream or a goal. It is something that we really want to still look forward towards approvers to be part of the maintainers and the governing body, so that we have a healthy community for this project. Having said that, since the documentation is already up there as to how the reviewers and approvers are going to be got into the system. If anybody has any doubts, we should discuss that. If there are some changes that we need to do, we should discuss that probably in the community meeting itself, or maybe in Carvel Slack channel. We have Dimitri and Joao, who are the leads for this, and they, I think, have been approving most of our review processes. So that will still continue for the time being. And I think more the merrier. So please put in your requests in the template that Thomas has shared as to how to become reviewers and approvers, and we can take it forward.
Yeah, I would say in general on the process, right? I've I don't know, I've been with Carvel for quite some time, right? And I think the process itself has evolved in a better direction, right? As the project has matured, and I'm sure it will keep on evolving. But I think regardless of the process evolution, I think the underlying agreement has always been we want to have more people participating actively. We know that there's a lot of passionate users, passionate contributors, whoever they may be, code or otherwise, right? So I don't think whatever obstacles we may feel like there is that exist maybe perhaps in the current process, right? So for example, if there is a concern, hey, look, we really want to keep on evolving CAP, and we want to make sure that the PRs are getting the appropriate amount of attention. I believe everybody's on board in making sure that contributions are going as smoothly as possible, right? And I think that will remain to be so. On a different topic, I did want to also echo what Rinu said. Wanted to say a huge thank you to Nancy and a couple of other folks. As I've mentioned on GitHub, it's kind of a part of the unfortunate life of being employed, I guess, right? In a perfect world, I would be on a beach working on Carvel, perhaps a lot more than than I spend, but I think the doors are always open. Please don't be strangers. Come by on a Slack channel, come by on a community meeting. Absolutely love to see folks circling back in, saying hello, and continuing whatever contribution there may be.
Yeah. So on my side, so like maybe for an update for right now, I was moved to a different project, so I'm not going to be as active on Carvel moving forward. Nevertheless, I am still going to contribute for right now. There are like a couple of things that I'd like to see move forward before like anything, and then like with time we'll see how things evolve and how my time also evolves, because now, even though I'm working for Broadcom, I'm going to be working in something different, so my contributions are going to be much more on the personal side, so that is going to reduce the amount of time I have. But yeah, so in terms of update, I'd like to thank everybody that helped us get this far, and especially you, Nancy, because you have been like awesome. You have been like the best community manager I worked with so far. And I really appreciate all the hard work and all the hours and all the things that you did for this project to get it to where it is today. Unfortunately, we're not able to get us to Sandbox, but we will get there one day, thanks to all the work that you did. Sandbox, sorry, incubation. But thanks to all the work that you did, get us to this point is going to be much easier. So I would like to thank you for everything you did for us.
Thank you, Joao. And thank you both, Renu and Dimitri, for your kind words as well. Yeah, I feel like it's in good hands. It's going to be a very lean team, and so I think one of the other main points of having this meeting is to be patient as we figure it out. And there's going to be some delays in responding to requests and responding to PRs, and here, maybe there won't be, maybe there won't, but just to try and get everyone sort of understanding, that there's gonna be a few hiccups right now, and just to be patient with us, and don't give up on us. I think the project's still very important to Broadcom, and I know it's not, the company's not gonna let it fail. So I think there's still support there, and it's just we also need the community to also help us and just work with us and as we figure it all out.
I just also want to say, Nancy, from the community side, not from the Broadcom side or the maintainer side, but as a user who joins these meetings quite often, thank you for everything. It's one of the better communities that I've ever been, involved in, especially in the CNCF. And a lot of that is due to you, as well as the great maintainers, but thank you for everything. And making the community feel welcome and making the community and involving the community. So thank you for everything as well. I just wanted to say that from the community side as well, how appreciative we are for everything that you've done.
Thank you, Scott. And you know how I'm appreciative of everything you've done for the community and the project. So
I've done nothing but complain. I'm very good at complaining or making other people do work.
But that is an important contribution, just to make sure everybody knows that.
And thank you so much for that, Scott. I mean, without those, how would we improve?
Exactly.
Yeah, you call it complaining. I call it feedback.
Is that another one of those bug feature things? It depends on the perspective.
I'd also like to say thank you to you, Nancy, and to the team. Like, it's been a pleasure being part of this community, not just happy Carvel user, but also really, really great community. So it's been really good joining these meetings, also catching up at events and just talking about different things Carvel related. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Thomas. Yeah, we've been, I feel like very, very, very lucky with the amazing people that we have in our community. Like just such solid rock stars that are such champions and advocates for the project. And if it wasn't for y'all, like we wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't be able to keep going. So we've been very fortunate in that regard. So does anyone have any other questions, concerns, any comments or anything?
So I just want to add, as we regroup as a team, and as we take more feedback and more, and as the community helps us grow, we will keep you posted on the community meeting itself, when we are going to have it, how often we are going to have it. We'll take some more tips from Nancy, how to conduct this, how to take this forward. Hopefully she'll guide us, and let's see where this takes us.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Nancy. You have been the torch bearer of Carvel in the so many conferences, and the way you have handled us, like helped us to be more confident in these community meetings and then in the conferences. Thank you very much for all of that.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I guess if there's nothing else that anyone wants to say, we can go ahead and end this. And if there's any, I know you just probably processing it, you know, probably gonna have more questions after we end the meeting. So feel free to ask in our Slack channel, the Carvel Slack space, Carvel channel and the Kubernetes Slack workspace. And you know, we could also email us in the CNCF maintainers list. We'll receive an email there, or whatever you're comfortable with. You can DM one of the maintainers. But you know, we'll happy to answer any questions you have. And with that, hopefully everyone feels a little bit more at ease with this stuff. It's very unfortunate. It's very sad, but the good news is the project will continue to move forward. Okay. Thank you everyone for, I don't want to get emotional again. For making my job as a community manager really fun and easy, and I will miss you. All right. Till next time.